My name is Emily. I grew up in a small town in the United States. Everyone knew each other, and life was simple. But inside, I often felt sad. I didn't know what true happiness was. I searched for it in many places, but it was hard to find. When I was a little girl, I used to think that happiness came from toys or candies. My parents would buy me dolls, and I would feel happy for a moment. But soon, the happiness would go away, and I would feel empty again. One day, I asked my mother, "What is happiness?" She smiled softly and said, "Happiness is something you find inside your heart, Emily. It's not about things, but about feelings and people I didn't understand at the time, but her words stayed with me." As I grew older, I noticed how important language was. In school, we learned to read and write. I liked English because it was a way to express my feelings. Whenever I felt sad, I would write in my diary. Writing helped me feel better. One day, something changed in my life. I met a girl named Sarah. She was new to our school and didn't speak much English. She was from another country and felt alone. I could see the sadness in her eyes. I wanted to help her, but I didn't know how. I remembered how English had helped me. I decided to teach her some simple words. Every day after school, we would sit together, and I would help her with her homework. Slowly, Sarah started learning more English. She became more confident, and we became best friends. One afternoon, Sarah told me something that made me cry. She said, "Emily, you made me happy when I felt lost. You taught me English, but more than that, you gave me a friend." Her words touched my heart deeply. It was then that I realized that true happiness comes from helping others. As time went by, Sarah and I grew closer. We would laugh, cry, and share stories about our lives. I learned so much from her, and she learned from me. Together, we discovered that happiness is not about having everything but about sharing moments with people who care about you. Learning English helped me connect with Sarah in a way I never thought possible. It gave me the power to communicate and understand her feelings. English became more than just a subject in school, it became a bridge between hearts. One day, Sarah asked me, "How do you learn English so well?" "Emily," I smiled and shared some tips with her. "First, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone makes them. Second, practice every day. Even if it's just a few minutes, it helps. Third, read books, watch movies, and try to speak as much as you can." Sarah listened carefully and followed my advice. Her English improved so much that she started helping other students who were struggling. Seeing her grow and succeed made me realize how powerful language is. It can change lives. We had our share of tough times too. There were days when Sarah would cry, missing her family back in her home country. I would sit with her, listen, and remind her that she was not alone. These emotional moments brought us even closer, and we became like sisters. During those times, I would write stories to help her feel better. I would use simple English, just like I'm doing now. Writing helped us both heal. It was a way to express our feelings when words seemed too hard to speak. English became more than a language for us. It became a tool for friendship, for healing, and for finding true happiness. Through Sarah, I learned that happiness doesn't come from being perfect or having everything, but from being there for someone else. As we grew older, our bond remained strong. We would often talk about how much we had learned from each other. I told Sarah how teaching her English had changed my life too. It made me realize that happiness comes when you help others find their way. One day, Sarah surprised me with a beautiful thought. She said, "Emily, you taught me English, but more than that, you taught me what it means to be happy." Her words brought tears to my eyes. It was in that moment that I understood the true meaning of happiness. Happiness isn't something you can buy or hold in your hands. It's something you feel in your heart. It's in the little moments when you help someone, when you share a smile, or when you make a difference in someone's life. Learning English helped us both grow, not just as students, but as people. It gave us a way to express our feelings, share our stories, and connect with each other. Through English, we found a bond that went beyond words. As I reflect on my journey, I realize that the most important thing is not what we have, but who we have. True happiness comes from the connections we make, the kindness we show, and the love we share. So, if you are learning English, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Practice every day and remember that language is a way to connect with others. Use it to share your feelings, tell your stories, and make the world a little brighter for someone else. In the end, happiness isn't found in things but in people. It's in the friendships we build, the love we give, and the moments we share. And that, my friend, is the true meaning of happiness.